and action. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here. This is when you do a round of applause. Now, I'm already starting to get that look. He doesn't look like the guy from Dancing with the Stars. It's the other Tom Bergeron, or I like to say, I'm the real Tom Bergeron, and it's a pleasure to be here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the owner and operator of Binge, BINJE.com. We are a business news site that serves the state that we started about a year ago. This would be another round of applause. So for those who don't know Binge, look, we're going to cover the basic news of the day. Who's coming, who's going, who's hiring and firing, who's retiring. If you were at a Binge news alert just about a half an hour ago, you would know that the NJIT president announced his retirement. We love doing that. That's in our heart of our element of what we do. But what we really love to do is tell the stories that people in the business community, and the philanthropic community, and the higher ed community, and the nonprofit community need to know. So that means covering a lot of good people doing good things. For those who are regular readers, know that I do a lot on neurodiversity. I have a son who's autistic. And for anyone who has connected to someone with autism in the crowd, and there's going to be like 50% of you, you understand the challenges that are there. So that has been a 29-year passion for me. But more recently, I discovered food insecurity. And let me tell you where we discovered that. We did a story at one of my previous publications about the Joint Base. It was called The Food Warriors. I'm going to tell you something that's going to absolutely stun you because it stunned me. 25% of all active duty military people, let me repeat that, 25% of all active duty military people use food pantries. This is not retirees. This is not people overcoming challenges. These are active duty military. They move from place to place. It's difficult for the spouse to get work. They have to find it. And there's a program called Food Warriors, and it opened my eyes to food insecurity. And look, a lot of people thought that COVID was something that opened people's eyes to food insecurity. It didn't. Let's all admit it. All COVID did was make us see what we saw all along. So at Binge, we do a lot of stories on food insecurity. We did one just this afternoon about Elijah's Promise and what they're doing. We do things, I was just at the Newark YMCA talking about how they have take-home food programs because they know sometimes when the kids go home, there's other people in the home who are a little hungry too. And that led me to what's happening here at Mercer Street Friends. What this organization does to fight food insecurity issues is second to none in this county, and everyone here deserves another big round of applause. Now, because people like Bernie Flynn are never satisfied to just do one thing, Mercer Street Friends decided that they're going to push education too. We're going to get a full stomach, and we're going to work on education. And anyone who has children, and I have 5, you know that there's a really key element. By the time kids reach 2nd and 3rd grade, so much of their future is decided. And what Bernie and what the team here are doing with tutoring programs, unbelievable numbers that they're bringing kids up to reading level, up to grade level, and dare I say, above grade level. If we can get kids, thank you, absolutely. If we can get them reading in the 3rd grade, maybe writing in the 4th grade, maybe putting down their damn phone in the 5th grade, right? Lots of things that we have to do, but it all starts with reading and education. So to add that to what Mercer Street Friends here is unbelievable. So that's my opening act. I don't juggle, I don't do that, I just sort of philosophize. So I'm happy to be here, and let's get ready to the program. And first, one more round of applause for Mercer Street Friends. All right, at Binge, we do a number of events, and we count on our sponsors and supporters, so I fully understand how important that is. So I'm going to take a little time to talk about the supporters of this event and of Mercer Street Friends. We're going to start with Bloomberg, who is here tonight. Thank you for all that you do. We're going to go to Ann Irwin and Bob Holt, who I met earlier this evening, longtime contributors. Glad to have you here. I got no idea how these people got roped into it. Apparently NJM is here in a big fashion. It's like an alumni party. Capital Health is here. Ann and Bernie Flynn are with us. And then in case some of my jokes fall flat, we have somebody called the On-Deckers here, apparently ready to take over for me at any moment. Now this one, it just says bullet point, the best in the business. I'm confused. It just says the best of the business. It must be Thomas Boyd Communications. The Bixel Group is here. And I know, for those of you who know Vicki, she's probably taking a nap right now. She hasn't been running around making sure a million things are just right, getting everything organized. Vicki, thanks for all you do. One of my favorite places to go, the Wakefern ShopRite Cooperative is here. Thomas Edison State University, Marody Hancock, and Greg Schottner are here. And last but not least, simply JKJ is in the house. All right. Now, in addition to all of our sponsors, we have a number of elected officials here. So let's read those off. New Jersey Senator Shirley Turner is in the house. Mr. Mayor of Trenton, Reed, where are you? Stand up. Princeton Mayor Mark Frieda in the house. Ewing Councilman Jennifer Keyes Maloney. Ewing Councilwoman Sarah Stewart. Westward Councilwoman Teska Frisbee. And they've gotten really big writing here. Flip, you idiot, flip. So I'm going to flip over. Trenton Northward Councilwoman Jennifer Williams is here. And last but not least, former U.S. Rep. Jim Greenwood is in the house. Now, I'm going to call them out. It's funny when you do big events like this, you often say, who came the farthest distance, right? Someone from Louisiana, New Orleans is here. But another fun way to do this is who's known someone the longest. And we have a pair of junior high classmates that are here, but I'm going to skip right over them because I'm told that Jim Greenwood and Bob Holt have known each other since the first grade. All right, why are we here? We're here to celebrate a few key people and organizations, so we're going to have special congratulations to our honorees first. They're going to be called up later, but I just want to rattle them off here so we can applaud. Bloomberg Philanthropies, again, in the house. They are receiving the Corporate Leadership and Public Service Award. Senator Shirley Turner. And it's only fitting that she's receiving the 2026 Humanitarian Award. And finally, Ken Blackwell, the Mercer Street Friends Board Chair. Where is Ken? He is receiving the Robert M. Applebaum Award. And because we have some good friends in the legislature, we have some resolutions from the Assembly and the Senate, joint resolutions, honoring them for all that they do. But this is what this evening is about, is honoring them for what they do. Speaking of honoring, segue there. Bernie Flynn is retiring after 6 years as CEO of Mercer Street Friends. Now, those who know Bernie, and most of us do, know that his accomplishments, there's way too many to mention. So I'm just going to name a couple. Bernie has guided this group through COVID, created a financial, stable, vibrant, and respected organization in the county, in the state, and beyond. It's pretty good. In partnership with Jeanette Harris, Bernie established the Reading Intervention Program for the Community Schools Initiatives that we spoke of, and helped lead the expansion from 3 to 6 community schools in Trenton, Hamilton, and Ewing. Last but not least, in partnership with James Butter Allen, Bernie secured the new food warehouse, where we stand tonight. Jumping from 25,000 square feet to 40,000 square feet. We've got dry goods, we've got freezer goods. The refrigeration is a real key. We've done that story many times. It helps people get a complete meal and a healthy meal. If we can get people reading and a healthy meal, everything is better. It all starts stirring. Thank you for Bernie. Now, in case you didn't notice, I tend to go off script a little bit, so the cue card guy is going to be totally stunned because I'm going to go completely off script right here. I'm going to talk a little bit about Bernie before I bring him up. And I'm going to do that in the sense that I have been doing this for about 15 years. I went from sports journalism to business journalism. I'm asked to MC a lot of events. I'm never asked to do it twice, but I get it the first time. I'm asked to be on panels. I'm asked to talk about the business. And I was one a couple months ago, and they said, talk about New Jersey, right? What is the essence of New Jersey? What are we known for? And somebody on the panel said, look, it's our people. It's Einstein and Edison, all of those great people. And someone said, no, it's what we create, right? It's the transistor. It's the catalytic converter. It's the cell phone. It's the phonograph. It's all of that stuff. Somebody else said, hey, how about just the blueberries? Can we just say the blueberries? So when it came to my turn, I said it's the attitude. And everybody chuckled. We got that Jersey Shore attitude thing. But that's not what I'm talking about. So what we have in this state is an attitude, is we have leaders who put the state and the community and the company ahead of themselves. And when we do that, the state wins. I'm going to rattle off a couple of names that you might know. Art Ryan at Prudential. I mean, so much for the city of Newark. Yes, give it up for Art. Barry Ostrowski at RWJ Barnabas, what he did to help. Dennis Bone at Verizon, just a leader and going on. Ray Chambers on just everything and anything, just what a great, great person. And I'd be remiss without saying Al Coppi and Karen Francini. These are people. This is the Jersey attitude. We get a bad rap outside of the state, but inside we have some corporate leaders that put the state and the community service they honor first. And I'm going to put Bernie Flynn in the group with that list of Hall of Famers. Bernie, come on up. That's all I got.
Claire, the chairs are squeaking. Do you remember the last time this chair squeaked like that here at this event? It was 2 years ago, and it was when I introduced you. And who I'm talking about is Claire Bobino-Fontenot. Claire, please stand up. She is the former CEO of Feeding America, and she is individually one of the most influential people in the world when it comes to food insecurity, and she is my surprise for tonight. Blew me away, brought me to tears when she came in, going out of her way to come here again. And so we appreciate it, Claire. Thank you so much for being here. And tonight, I have so many thank yous. So I am going to take a little time here and recognize people like Claire who have been so important to me and to Mercer Street Friends. And before I get started, I just want to acknowledge the terrific slate of honorees. Senator Shirley Turner, you are so special, and we're going to talk about you some more later in the evening. Ken Blackwell, our board chair, tremendous, tremendous leader here. And Bloomberg, I was talking to Misty earlier, who's going to accept the Bloomberg recognition on behalf of the company, and Bloomberg shows up. They show up, and that is just so important. Thank you so much, Bloomberg. For context here, I started as CEO in early February 2020. Within 2 weeks, I realized that, in effect, we had a gaping hole in our food bank leadership. Our savior was James Butter Allen. He was vice chair of our board of trustees and volunteering part-time here at the food bank. And unfortunately for me, he and his wife, Pat, were in Disney World when the pandemic hit in March. And I was worried he was going to stay down there. He and Pat were the last two to leave Disney, and when he got home, I begged him to take charge of the food bank full-time, and he did. We have been partners ever since, and he is continuing his good work here. Butter, none of all this would have been possible without your dedication and leadership. Thank you. Vicki Bixel, our strategic development consultant and architect for all 6 of these leadership events, has been with us from the beginning, and her guidance and support has been instrumental in our ability to meet our mission. Thank you, Vicki. Dave Zabore is here. He was our first chief operating officer. He retired in 2023. Dave, where are you? Raise your hand. Stand up, Dave. He's in the back there. Bernadette Trapp. We hit the jackpot in 2021 when we hired Bernadette to be our director of community schools. She was the principal of our first community school, Rivera Community Middle School, in 2016. And she was recognized at our first Leadership Award celebration with our Educational Leadership Award, along with Gregory School Principal Jeanette Harris, who is with us tonight. Principals are the key partners in our community school initiative. I can't thank Bernadette and Jeanette enough for their steadfast leadership. And I also want to recognize James Earl. Where did he go somewhere? Oh, there he is. James Earl, our superintendent of the Trenton School Districts. Couldn't do what we do without his support. The work that Butter and I have done together over the years takes a lot of time and dedication. So I want to thank and congratulate Randall West, our incoming CEO, and Lisa Weber, our new Chief of Food Security. Randall, as we joke, has been drinking from a fire hose since he started 14 months ago, and he is ready to take over. We are very fortunate to have him as our new CEO, and you're going to hear from him shortly. Thank you, Randall. Lisa Weber hit the ground running when she started in February. She has great experience in the charitable food sector and is taking us to the next level in all things related to the food bank. Thank you, Lisa. Now, bringing on strong executives like that in the nonprofit space is not possible without a dedicated and engaged board of trustees. And we have a great turnout here tonight. I'd like to recognize our trustees, Rupert Hall, Yvette Randolph, Sanjay Therapakuri, Michael Godshaw, Gerald Delk, Bob Holt, Audrey Haynes, and of course our chair, Ken Blackwell. Thank you, trustees. You're going to hear about Ken and hear from Ken in a little bit when he receives his Applebaum Award. And I want to take this time to personally thank him for being a terrific chair to work with. He is always available when you need him, very insightful, supportive, and strategic. Ken's leadership has been instrumental in making Mercer Street Friends a more impactful organization. Thank you, Ken. I want to recognize our many volunteers, individuals, and teams from companies like Bloomberg, who are such important parts of our operations. We appreciate your commitment and service. We are inspired by your selfless action in serving our neighbors throughout Mercer County. And to our staff, Mercer Street Friends staff, you do good and hard work every day. You ensure that those who need a hand up receive it. The fruits of your labor support our community in so many beneficial ways. You should all be very proud of your work here at Mercer Street Friends, and tonight's event is a true celebration of all that you do, and I thank you for it. And I thank Bob Holt and Ann Irwin for subsidizing your attendance here tonight. Please raise your hand if you're on staff at Mercer Street Friends and get another round of applause. We have so many outside partners in the work we do, and I want to thank the CEOs and executive directors who are here tonight from the Mercer County Food Security Leaders Group, Maureen Hunt from Arm in Arm, Sarah Stewart from Homefront, Barrett Young from Rescue Mission, Amy Flynn from Task. Thank you, Mercer County Food Security Leaders. We also have our New Jersey Food Bank CEOs in attendance. Elizabeth McCarthy from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, Triada Stampis from Fulfill, Jana Celta from the Food Bank of South Jersey, Mark Valley from Northwest Cap, and Joe Lombardo from Southern Regional. Thank you, Food Bank CEOs. Another key partner is America's Grower Row, the largest nonprofit farm in the state of New Jersey. They are on the front lines in battling food insecurity, and their founder, Chip Palix, is with us tonight. Thank you, Chip. Now, there are some regional and statewide leaders in the room that I want to acknowledge. Some have been mentioned before. Skip Semino, did Skip make it? I didn't see Skip earlier. Skip is a dear friend, and he is the former chairman emeritus of the Greater Trenton Economic Development Organization, and I know he's with us in spirit. And George Soa is here, the former CEO of Greater Trenton. Thank you, George. Al Magazine, the CEO of Capital Health, is here. Thank you, Al, for being here. Meredy Hancock, the president of Thomas Edison State University. Thank you, Meredy. Dr. Nicole McGrath Barnes, founder of Kinder Smiles, who provides desperately needed oral health care in Trenton, Bloomfield, Newark, and beyond. Scott Kobler, former chairman of New Jersey Public Broadcasting. Thank you, Scott. Jim McCluskey at my table. Jim is the founder of Centurion Ministries. He has spent his entire career freeing people who were wrongly incarcerated, and he is the best-selling author of the book Framed with John Grisham. Right here. Thank you all. We have some prior honorees that I want to mention. I did not see Jack Morrison here, but he was expected. Phyllis Stuhlmacher is here, our humanitarian award winner last year, and Mitch Livingston is here from NJM, one of our honorees in our first few years. Thank you, Jack, Phyllis, and Mitch for being here. And finally, I want to thank my colleagues from NJM who are here tonight. If you are affiliated with NJM, please raise your hand. And that group, please raise your hand, everybody, come on. That group includes the former chairman of the board, Ned Stern, and the current CEO, Carol Voorhees, who dutifully did as I asked and raised her hand. Let's give a shout out to Carol. Thank you all for your tremendous support. And before I turn it back over to Tom Bergeron, I want to tell you a little bit about Mr. Mack. Okay, yeah, the staff knows Mr. Mack, so that's where the applause is coming from. So many people know Mr. Mack. He graces the cover of our 2025 Impact Report and has been an inspiration to all of us at Mercer Street Friends for decades. He has dedicated his life to serving others, particularly inner-city youth, and at 90 years young, he has inspired an anonymous donor to fund the Mr. Mack Book Award to a deserving college student who has an affiliation with Mercer Street Friends. And I'm pleased to announce that the first annual recipient of the Mr. Mack Book Award is Jessica Nazario. Get up, Jessica. Jessica is attending the College of New Jersey and majoring in secondary education and English. She is on a 5-year track for a master's in urban education. She volunteers with Mercer Street Friends, has been employed as a summer counselor for us in the past 3 years, is a student government senator, is in the Leadership Honor Society, and is a product of Trenton Central High School. Let's hear it for Jessica and Mr. Mack. We're going to take a photo right here. All right. All right, and Tom, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
I now have the pleasure of introducing Mercer Street Friends' incoming CEO. Now, Randall West will assume the position on July 1st, but as Bernie mentioned, he's been training for some time. He's been serving as the Chief Administrative Officer for the past year and has time to become deeply immersed in the work done by Mercer Street Friends and is ready to take on the promise of this program with mission and clarity. I know how pleased Randall is to have such an experienced and thoughtful, caring team alongside him during the transition. Okay. It said he's also mentioned he's happy that he's going to have his friend Bernie will be joining him on the Board of Trustees and will only be a phone call away. Who here thinks Bernie is not going to retire at all? He will be on speed dial, absolutely. All right, how about a round of applause for Randall and his wife, Jay.
na, 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 na. All right, all right. Well, I guess I'm a little different, huh? You know what? I got to say that Claire Babineau Fontenot, this was her theme song every time she went up on stage. Am I right, Claire? Well, it's no longer yours because you're not going up on stage anymore, so it's now mine, okay? Thank you, thank you. Thank you for letting me borrow it anyway. And thank you, Bernie. Think of that. Bernie wanted the show to be choreographed in a certain way, and he didn't get his way today. This never happens. But I'm here to, by the way, good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here before you today to make a presentation to something that's really near and dear to my heart. That's about the people, our staff, our volunteers, and the neighbors that we serve. And without our volunteer program, without our staff, but our volunteer program, they come in here selflessly, and they do their work, and then they go home. We would not be where we are today, especially without the corporate leadership of Bloomberg and Bloomberg Philanthropies. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what you may not know is that they started this mission, this partnership, this collaboration with us dating back to 1998. And I mean, that's 30 years ago, almost. And we're grateful for that service. And they have pledged themselves to serve. It's been a philanthropic partnership at the heart of our work and at Bloomberg. And it's been that way for a very long time. Mercer Street Friends received its first grant, and that was the beginning of our relationship. It's a strong relationship. It's gotten stronger each passing year. What began as a generous contribution became an enduring and deepening partnership. Bloomberg support has never been abstract. It's been visible, practical, and deeply felt. From coat and backpack drives to packing shop bags and community food bags, Bloomberg has stood with us in a meaningful and hands-on ways. So time and again, they've shown what it means to genuinely care about our neighbors and about our community. So let's give a round of applause again for their service. Tonight we're here to celebrate them, and we're here to celebrate all the people. And Muhammad Ali penned this poem. I'm not sure if he did pen it at Harvard University. He did the commencement there many years ago. And it was a two-word poem. And I'd like to once again recite it to all of you here today. As an incoming CEO, you have my commitment. Me, we. And Bloomberg has been a big part of the we. So please join me in welcoming warmly Mitzi Pazikos to the stage to accept the 2026 Corporate Leadership and Public Service Award on behalf of Bloomberg and Bloomberg Philanthropies. Let's go, let's give them some. Yeah.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Randall. Thank you, Bernie. Before I accept this award, I just want to say how wonderful it is to be in company with a lot of our partners, CHIP at America's Grow Row, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, many I can't even mention. Our commitment is deep, and it's so inspiring just to be in the room with you. So with that, it really is an honor to receive this Corporate Leadership and Public Service Award on behalf of Bloomberg and Bloomberg Philanthropies, and our dedicated Bloomberg volunteers, many of whom are with us here tonight. Also, like Randall said, my name is Misty Pasigos, and I have the lucky honor of coordinating all of our volunteerism across New Jersey offices. Since 1998, Bloomberg has been proud to support Mercer Street Friends and help its work to help individuals and families thrive. That commitment is brought to life through our employees who continue to show up in hands-on ways. In 2025 alone, Bloomberg employees filled more than 1,000 volunteer shifts that you've offered to us. We've completed 18 hours of service in that year, and we helped assemble food kits, like Randall said, support backpack drives, and help with winter coats for your preschool, which I'm so glad to hear is expanding. Really glad. These opportunities are especially meaningful because they give our colleagues, our Bloomberg colleagues, a direct way to support their neighbors and connect with the needs of the community around them. It also reflects something deeply important to Bloomberg. It's using our time, our resources, and our people power to strengthen the places where we live and work. Now I'd especially like to honor Bernie. Thank you for your leadership, your continued collaboration, your unwavering commitment to the community. I know now I see you're a legend in the community, but your partnership has meant so much to us at Bloomberg. Your work has changed countless lives. We're so grateful for your leadership and wish you the next in your next chapter. We so warmly welcome Randall. We now see your energy. We're so proud to get to work with you as the new CEO. We really want to continue this important partnership and really work on the strong foundation we've been working on together for nearly 3 decades. So thank you so much again, Mercer Street Friends, your staff, for this tremendous honor. We're really grateful for this opportunity to work alongside you, proud of what you've accomplished, what we've helped you accomplish together in some way, and excited for the impact that we'll continue to make. So thank you.
You're going to have to trust me on this one. I can assure you that you're glad that I don't have a walk-up song. The next guy, I'm kind of think we should create one for him on the spot. Maybe we'll do a little Boogie Wonderland from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Congratulations to Bloomberg. Bernie, I'd like to ask you to step up to present the 2026 Humanitarian Award to Senator Shirley Turner. Cue the music.
You're all definitely getting a better dancer in the next CEO. It is my great privilege to introduce the Mercer Street Friends Humanitarian Award honoree for 2026 to New Jersey State Senator Shirley Turner. Senator Turner is one of the most dedicated public servants Mercer County and the state of New Jersey has ever seen. And it all started as a Trenton public school teacher. She coupled being a lifelong educator with service as a county freeholder, a state assemblywoman, and since 1998, our state senator in the 15th district. This recognition is in honor of her deep commitment to the education of our children, not just in Trenton and District 15, but across the state of New Jersey. Senator Turner has always been a tremendous advocate for strong education policy, and she provided an opportunity for Community Schools Director Bernadette Trapp and I to testify in front of the Senate Education Committee about chronic absenteeism and the community school strategy. That testimony and Senator Turner's fierce advocacy enabled Mercer Street Friends to receive $2 million in state funding to expand our community school initiative from 3 to 6 schools. As a result, we are helping students and families thrive academically, socially, emotionally, and physically by providing reading intervention, mental health support, food assistance, enrichment programming, and family services. Senator Turner, we thank you for your distinguished service and steadfast, unparalleled leadership. It is my great pleasure to present you with the 2026 Mercer Street Friends Humanitarian Award. Thanks, Senator. Oh, don't go anywhere, Senator.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Mercer County friends. And you're all friends tonight, or you wouldn't be here. And in fact, I think many of you deserve this recognition more than I do, particularly all of the volunteers. And you would not be able to do what you're doing in Mercer County and beyond if it were not for not just your magnificent staff, but your committed volunteers. There's an old African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." And Mercer, friends, you have created that village. With government and the private sector and the community and the volunteers in our state, you have created that magnificent village. And today we need those villages more than ever before when it comes to food insecurity. Health care. When it comes to educating our children, because we know, and I know, as I was growing up, you cannot learn on an empty stomach. If you cannot get the nutrition that you need, you are not able to sit in a classroom and learn. So Mercer County, you have been doing what we need to do for every student in this state. And I'm not going to stop working until we're able to just do that which we're all called to do. And I'm so appreciative to be able to be honored tonight along with Ken Blackwell as well as Bloomberg, because we need more corporate citizens, good corporate citizens who are concerned about the community and not just the almighty dollar. And that is something that seems to be far too prevalent today in this society. So I want to also thank my magnificent staff, because they are the ones that should be here receiving this award, because they are so committed and hardworking and never stop until they can help everybody who contacts our office, and even those that do not contact our office. I remember when I was first sworn in, I made a commitment when I took the oath of office that I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that the people who elected me are going to get the things, the needs addressed that they deserve. And I've tried to do that ever since I've been in office. And Bernie, I salute you and your leadership, because without you, we would not have come as we've come now to provide the necessary food, health care, education, and partnership. When government partners with the private sector and the community, we can get all things done. And that's what we need to do, to work together and to make sure that whatever we do is going to be for not just ourselves, but for our neighbors and the community at large. So thank you so much for this great opportunity. But like I said, there are other people, I believe, including everybody in this room, and when it comes to being a good humanitarian, because you wouldn't be here otherwise. Thank you for always supporting Mercer Street Friends.
Just curious, taking a binge poll here. Can everybody hear me tonight? All right, next question. How many of you have been to an event where you couldn't hear people? And how awful are those events? So I want to give a shout out to Scally Events in the back. They're the ones that are making this going so well. Look, we're all here to help and support each other. Deb Troy over there with the photo, raise a hand. If you need a photographer, she's here. She can do it. Did we enjoy the food? Right? The little steak thing that went around, that was pretty good. Max Hansen, catering, thanks for that. And I don't know if Scotty and friends are back, but they were playing the jazz music earlier, which was great. So a round of applause to all of our vendors. All right, I'd now like to ask Wendy Kane, a former board member, food bank volunteer, and an all-around great friend of Mercer Street Friends, to step up and present the Robert M. Applebaum Award to Ken Blackwell.
Good evening, friends. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing this year's recipient of the Robert M. Applebaum Service Award. Bob Applebaum was a friend committed to peace, education, and service. And if you've met Ken Blackwell, you know he and Bob are cut from the same cloth. Both gentlemen committed to service, always available to lend a hand, an ear, and an open heart. Now, I was already a board member of Mercer Street Friends when Ken joined in 2017, and we became fast friends. We were bonding over our love for and dedication to the organization, and the occasional martini. As a man whose career has focused on leadership development, Ken was the perfect choice to become board chair in 2020, and we all know what happened that year. But supported by our new CEO, Bernie Flynn, a committed board, generous donors, and a dedicated staff, Ken helped ensure that Mercer Street Friends' mission of focusing on food, family, and education would continue and even grow during a global pandemic. From attending Feeding America conferences to supporting 2 strategic organizational plans, his clear, strong leadership has helped grow Mercer Street Friends into the amazing organization it is today. So, as we gather here tonight in our spacious new food bank, let's remember what Bob Applebaum said when opening 151 Mercer Street in 1958. What will we do with this building? Let's put it to good Quakerly use. That building remains, and the organization has certainly grown from that time. And we stand here thanks to a leader like Ken Blackwell, who continues to put his life to good Quakerly use. Ken, please join me as we present you with the 2026 Robert M. Applebaum Service Award.
Don't drop it. All right, hang on to this. They're deceptively heavy. So thank you, Wendy, for that lovely introduction. Also, thank you to the committee for selecting me for the Robert M. Applebaum Service Award. It is an absolute honor to receive this award, and I'm truly humbled. Bob Applebaum was the driving force of getting Mercer Street Friends started, but he did not do it alone. He had the support of a core group of equally dedicated fellow Quakers from Trenton Friends Meeting, as well as the support of countless others in the community. And together, they built a lasting force for good. I feel a little bit like Bob. I too did not and cannot do this alone. I've got the support of family. I'm proud that my daughter Katie is here today. You know, you try and tell your children that you're cool and you do stuff. So like the third party validation is awesome tonight. I really, I have the support of an amazing board of trustees. Stand up, guys. Thank you. Could not do it without your continued support. I have had an amazing partner over the last 6 years in our outgoing CEO, Bernie Flynn. Bernie, thank you for your partnership and everything that you've done. And I know I'm going to continue to have a great partner in our rising CEO, Randall West. Randall, I'm looking forward to the journey together. And of course, you have to thank the amazing staff and our dedicated volunteers. To paraphrase Butter Allen, if you don't show, there is no show. What you do every day, day in, day out, makes this place run. Thank you. You know, so none of us can do this work alone. We need partners. We need collaborators. We need others. Others who see the need, believe in the mission, and know that we'll make a difference together. You all in this room, by your presence here tonight, are demonstrating your belief in Mercer Street Friends, your belief in our mission, your belief in our staff's ability to meet that mission. And your belief and support demonstrates that you understand the mounting headwinds that we face, the increasing challenges experienced by our neighbors in need, and you understand that none of us can solve these problems alone, and that the way forward is to work together. It is in working together that Mercer Street Friends can address the growing needs of our community. Together, we can help parents give their newborns a healthy start in life. Together, we can begin a child's educational journey with care and love. Together, we can bestow the gift, the lifelong gift of reading to a young person. Together, we can enable an adult to get a diploma that will open up the future to a successful career and a successful life. Together, we can fight against food insecurity and keep people fed, which is ultimately what makes everything happen. So I urge all of you to continue your support of Mercer Street Friends. We can't do it alone, but together we can. Together we can. Together we can. Thank you.
We're at the point in the evening where I just want one more thing. A little bit more Bernie Flynn. Get it up for Bernie.
Okay. Listen, congratulations to Bloomberg, Senator Turner, and Ken Blackwell. Thank you so much for being our honorees tonight. For more than 40 years, I have had wonderful work families. And I'm also blessed with a tremendous home family. And that family is led by our mother, Mary Degnan Flynn, who is 91 years young, and she is here tonight. So, can you hear that applause, Mom? Can you hear it? Yeah. Yeah. Also, my brother John is here, and his wife Chrissy, sister Betsy, and husband Jim, brother Jim, and his wife Stacy, and baby brother Bob are all here. Thank you for coming. Our kids could not be here. Jack is sick, and Grayson is in a doctoral program and working up in Syracuse, could not get away. Jack used to work for Homefront and knows all about the challenges we face here in Trenton and Mercer County. And Grayson worked summers for Mercer Street Friends. You could say that this is truly the family business. Finally, I appreciate that. Though we'll tell them you gave some applause. But finally, I want to thank my wife, Ann. This is a concluding work chapter in a joint career and partnership. We met 2 months before I started law school. And while I was in school, if we wanted to go to the movies, she paid. When I wanted to propose to her, I borrowed $1,500 from my brother Jim so I could buy the engagement ring. And I didn't pay him back until we got the wedding money, and he didn't charge me any interest. Thank you, Jim. Until Jack was born, Ann always had the better paying job. She was the true breadwinner, even if it wasn't a lot of bread at the time. Then she becomes the First Lady of NJM for 10 years, and I'm getting all the attention and all the awards. You know what that's like, Mitch, right? Former CEO of NJM right there. After I retired from NJM in 2018, she thought we'd do more traveling and I'd have some downtime. Then I said I would really like to help Mercer Street Friends with a full commitment as a volunteer CEO. She looked at me funny, asked if I was sure. I said yes, and then she was all in. In fact, she volunteers with the A-Team every Tuesday, packing food bags right back there. So we are a good team, and honey, you are the unsung hero of that team. So guess what? I am pleased to announce, in the power vested in me, that you are the 2026 Mercer Street Friends Unsung Hero. Let's give it up for Ann Flynn. Come on.
So the #1 rule of being an MC is knowing exactly when you've got nothing that can top what just happened. Good night, everybody. Stay classy, New Jersey.